Now I want to show you the Xiho 60 kilowatts battery pack, and this is the stackable one. And you can see here is the battery, and they are not connect with the connecting pieces. And here you can see this colors is the Lithium 340 ampere hour cells. And you can see the BMS. The BMS is from the JK, and we already isolate on the box. And here is the blockers, and here is the screen. And we will test it when we already ship for the battery pack. And you can see here is the another brand. Here is the EVE 340 ampere hours, and we can both use the two type of battery to make the battery pack. And now we occupy the JK 60S and the 200N, the BMS for the 60 kilowatts battery pack, and we also available for the Peichen 60S and 20 ampere hours battery pack. You can see here is our design for the 60 kilowatts, and this is also very popular in the Europe markets and the American markets, and also in the Philippines or the South Asian countries. Yes, here is the frame box, and you can use this to payload the battery pack. And here is the 4.3 inch the screen, and you can see our blockers. Here is the 250 amps, and you can see the size, so it's very useful for the battery pack safety. And we are working for the big order, and you can see here is the finished battery pack. And here we have a papers that mention the QR code, and about the BMS we used is the energy storage BMS, and you can scan the QR code for the information about the BMS. And here is the inform, and when you receive it, you can just open it through this tab, and it will open, and you can see the difference. That's the blockers is 250 amp, but the design is this, and we update as this tab. This is the new version 2 of the battery pack, and that one is the version 1st. And you can see we are isolate the BMS, and here is the BMS, and you can see the different designs about the two type of battery, the BMS. And here is the Peichen BMS, and it's also for 60S and 200N. And here we will use the line to connecting the screen and the box for the communication of the BMS. And here is already isolates on the battery pack. You can see how we isolate the BMS on the battery pack. First we will connecting the line with the BMS, and now we will use the spool to connect in the board. Yes, this is the Peichen 60S and the 200N BMS. It's also very top brands in the China market. 这是测试还是直接组装啊？组装 ，OK。You can see the details, and it's already have this little space. And here for the spool, And if you buy the DIY box and the 340 mAh battery, that we can isolate the battery directly into the box, and you will receive the finish pack. And this service are free for your orders. You can see the form, and this is the battery pack inside, and that is the secrets about the battery. And also here is the already finished GKBMS. It's also the same patterns that we isolate the battery pack, and that only difference are brand and use information. You can see here is the connecting lines, and it's for the battery pack panel. It's the 2 battery pack, and it's for the communications. And here is the lines we can provide. You can see, this can reach to 125 temperature. And here you can see, if we directly use the DIY box and isolate the battery into the box, then we will use the line instead of PCB board to make the connect, because it's more loose, more lightweight, and it can have the more powers that to pass through the lines with this suit. And here is waiting for the payload. Hello friend, now I want to use the tourist to test the battery, and let me see about the consistent for the whole finished battery pack, the 60 battery pack, 340 mAh cells, about the consistency. 0.33. Yes, they are all the same.